folks, I'm Tom Vasel, and welcome to Board Game Breakfast. It's great to see all of you. I'm so glad you're here. I had an exceptional week this past week where our Kickstarter ended, which is nice. It's nice to be finished with the Kickstarter. Although we're not finished, there's still lots of work to do for sure in the future. But we funded, and you guys were just amazing. Fantastic. We cannot thank you enough. One of the reasons I do the Kickstarter is so that we don't keep talking about it the whole year round. We'll talk a little bit about bookkeeping when we open our pledge manager and things like that. But we're going to get to just putting out content for you all. We've been doing a lot of live streaming. We did live streaming the last 2 weeks. We're starting to get into our groove, starting to get our schedule down where live streaming is going up each day. But then again, if you can't watch the live streaming, you'll be able to watch it, at other times. So that's all good and going. So you hopefully will be enjoying that. But right now, let's get started in this show. And first, we'll start with what I found on the internet. So first, we'll start out with some interesting pieces I found for Scythe. I mean, there's a lot of this 3D printed stuff on the internet, but this and painted by the user looked really fantastic. And I like seeing how people are using 3D printing, plus a little bit of paint can really enhance games. Real Life Monopoly. This website is pretty cool, actually. I really like how it was put together, where you can scroll through it and it shows you the different properties of Monopoly and where they are in Atlantic City and with maps and things like that. That sort of thing is, to me, is really cool. It shows this intersection between board games and real life. The Game Designers. This is a documentary that was started a few years ago. In fact, I was interviewed for it, although I would imagine they've cut all that footage. But it's being produced by Board Game Geek, and there's a trailer. I think it's being kickstarted right now. I just thought that it was an interesting thing, as it follows different designers around as they design games. That he told me the producer of it. We talked for a while about it, and he's going to follow them from like beginning to end of a project type thing over the course of a couple years. So I'm going to be interested to see the final things on that. Amazon has admitted that, yes, there are counterfeit items on Amazon. Yeah, we know this. It's been something that's been around for a while, and a lot of people have actually treaded around real carefully. If you read an interview with Christian Peterson and where they were talking about counterfeiting, he basically said Amazon, except didn't say the word Amazon. And the fact is that there is a lot of counterfeit stuff on Amazon. How can it be combated? Hopefully, we can see changes come around. Consim World is running their donation drive right now. Consim World is a huge, well, I don't think it's as huge as it used to be, war game site. A lot of the users migrated over to Board Game Geek. The folks who run Consim World essentially refused to change over how their threads work. Like if you want to read a thread on Consim World, you have to read the whole thread. It's just everything's mixed together, so it can be kind of confusing. But a lot of people love it, stay with it, and they're running their annual donation drive. Then we have Board Game Atlas. Now this is being presented almost as an alternative to Board Game Geek, a website with a database and forums and things like that. And the people putting it together seem very earnest. They're ready to go. It's hard for me to imagine pulling something like this off. It's kind of like saying I'm going to make an auction site that's going to go up against eBay. You can try, but it's really hard when the one site already has all that traction. I'm not saying it's impossible. We'll just have to wait and see. And then in news, Board Game Geek just got their 2 millionth registered user. So I didn't mean to put those next to each other like that. That's just how it worked out. But yeah, congratulations to Board Game Geek, the most popular website about board games on the internet for sure. And that looks like that's all the news that there is this time, or at least things I found on the internet. You find something interesting on the internet, some sort of something going on, let me know about it. You never know, you might see it next week. Let's keep moving.
What's up, everyone? It's Danny, and welcome to Tabletop Twitter Talk, a segment where I cover some discussions happening between our community of board game and tabletop gamers on Twitter. For this week's poll, I asked, how do you feel about music at game nights? I had 4 options to choose from. Yay, music all the time. Music, but only thematic music. No music at all, too distracting. Or don't care either way. The results were relatively close, with music all the time being at 38%, music but only thematic music at 28%, not caring either way at 19%, and no music at all, too distracting at 15%. Let's see some replies from our community. Ian Moss says that he likes music while gaming, even if it isn't thematic, but he will have to turn it down because it's hard to learn rules while, Freddie Mercury. Drake, DM Dad, says that he loves music during gaming, but he does admit being a DM, he might get distracted, so he apologizes for the soft jazz in the middle of a fight. Geets likes to play DJ, and he has music all the time, but usually instrumentals, jazz, soundtracks, R&B. And Uncle Gramps very rarely uses music, only if it's thematic. For example, Jurassic Park for Dinosaur Island. Stevie Davies is on the same line. Sarah Reed gives a perspective that I didn't personally think about, but she doesn't play music because if there's a lot of people, the noise level just gets too high. Plus, her partner Will has vision disabilities and he relies a lot on his hearing, and music can muddle that up. And Sweet Boy Michael, well, he's music all the way, but only because silent terrifies him. Same, Michael, same. So how about you? Would you be a part of the majority that likes music during game nights? Or do you find it too distracting? Or maybe it's saved for thematic game nights? Leave a comment below or reach out to me on Twitter. Remember, I put out a poll every week, so feel free to join the conversation with our amazing board game and tabletop community. Thanks for tuning in to Tabletop Twitter Talk. I'll see you guys next week.
My name is Annette, and you may know me as Netter's Place. And today on Applied Mechanics, I'm going to go over the game of Chronicles of Crime. So this is a detective deduction type of game. You're trying to solve a crime. You're also using an app on your phone. So let me show you a little bit about this and why I really like it. So here's the setup of Chronicles of Crime. One thing that's missing is your phone. This is an app-based game. So you just click on the app once it's downloaded, and then you'll be able to upload the crime or scenario that you want to play. The tutorial is a great way to start because you don't have to read a rule book. The cool thing about this game is at certain locations there will be certain people that you can go ahead and talk to. You'll use the app and you'll scan the code that's on a card or a location, and then you'll start talking to that person. At the start of the game, you'll come across a certain crime that happened. Certain characters will come up, in which the character deck is all numbered, so you'll be given a certain number and then you'll go ahead and turn it over and discover who it is. You'll also come across different locations. When you're at the crime scene at different locations or talking to certain people, you'll come across different forms of evidence. You'll discover the evidence, it's all numerical, and then you will gather it and you will place it onto the board. You're not playing this game alone. In case you get stuck or want to discover more stuff, you can always ask your helpers. These are your contact specialists. I don't want to reveal too much about the game because it might ruin the scenario for you. However, when you suspect a criminal and you find out reasons why, you go back to Scotland Yard and you answer certain questions. If you find out why, who did it, or with what, then you go ahead and solve the crime. And if not, then I guess you have to try again. So as you can see, this game incorporates an app, but it does it so well. You're using the phone only during certain moments in the game. It's not overstaying its welcome. You're discussing with your group whether certain pieces of evidence matters, or if this one person committed the crime. You're trying to figure out how to prove that one thing leads to another in order to close the case. I would have to say this is the next step up from Clue the board game. If you like Clue, you'll really like Chronicles of Crime. Well, thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you next time. Bye!
Hey folks, welcome back to another Accessorize segment where I'm going to show you something that we got into the office just today even, and I want to show it to you because I think it's cool and I think it's affordable, and I think you should, if it's within your budget, go out and purchase it because it's something that somebody has put a lot of thought into design, and I think it'll help you store some of the components in your game and be able to use them during the course of your game as well. And that, my friends, is the Caddy Max. Let's take a look at it. So here is the Caddy Max, and the Caddy Max is just a generic thing to hold different kinds of components and all the different kinds of stuff. It comes in different colors that you can order on their website here. You can also get either white or black on the inside as well. So maybe you don't like the stark blackness and you want something white that has a contrast or something to that effect, so you can also do that. But basically it's just something that you can hold components in. You can use it as card trays. You can actually use it as a dice tray as well. well. So it's pretty simple. You just simply open it like that right there, and then like this right here, and that pops right off. And then you have all of these other dividers in here that just pop right out. So you can, as I said earlier, you can take all of these out, and it just takes a little bit, the tiniest bit of pressure, really, not a whole lot at all. And you can take all of these out, and you can also take this out as well. And now you have a dice tray. All right, so you can just roll your dice in there. And let's see, do I have any dice around here? Wow, it's the dice tower. I don't have any dice. Oh, no, I do. This is probably not going to be very good, though, but you can just roll the dice in there like that, see? And so it can be a dice tray if you'd like it to. Or if you have some cards and you just want to use it as a card tray, well, you can clip these in here like this, and no worries whatsoever. And the cards can just be pulled out if you're like this. The ramps here are pretty cool because they're not at 90-degree angles. Not exactly, I don't know, it doesn't look like a 45-degree angle either. It's a little bit more tight than that, but it's a comfortable angle to pull things out of. And so that's really neat. So you can use it as a card tray, or you can, keep these guys in here as snug as you want. Those pop right back in there. And so let's say you need, let's say you just need, oh, it didn't go in straight. Let's say you need 4 different kinds of components. Well, here you go. You've got 4 different trays that you can use. All right, so you've got 1, 2, 3, 4. Or maybe you need something a little bit different than that. So you can go here, and you can go here. Now you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different spots for components. And so there's just a lot of diversity in this little thing. And when I saw it, I wanted to show it to you because I like it. I like it a lot. And it's affordable. It's really affordable. I looked it up and it's only like $13, $12.99 on their website. So you guys should go and give this a look. Now, with all that having been said, there is some assembly required. Doesn't need any glue though. It just snaps all together, so that's a cool thing about it. So be prepared for that. You'll just get a mat full of all of these different pieces that you'll have to punch out, and then you'll have to take some film off of them and all that kind of stuff. So there is some work involved. It's not going to come to you the way it looks like this, but it's ready for you to put it together, and no glue is required. So that's cool. But anyway, just wanted to show it to you. Let's get back to the rest of your breakfast.
So what's coming from the Dice Tower this week? Well, I'm reviewing quite a few new games. I'll be taking a look at the new expansions for Merlin and for Space Base. Very excited about that one. I got one game I'm actually going to be reviewing. I won this week, so if you want to see me wreak holy havoc on something, I'll be taking a look at Trap Words, Once Upon a Time, Master of the Galaxy. We'll be doing a live play of a game from Renegade on Kickstarter, Terror Below. We'll also be talking about our top 10 Kickstarter games. And, of course, we're doing our live stuff each day. Of course, live board game breakfast on Thursday. We'll be doing our second Dice Tower dive, where we take a look at something in the past and talk a little bit about it. And so and reviews and things like that. We try to have content for you each and every day. And a podcast, of course, which you can check out on Tuesday. All right, let's go move on.
Hi, Mike Licio from Solomode Games. I've been very vocal about what a fan I am of the games from Garphill. I loved the North Sea games, and Architects of the West Kingdom was my #1 solo game of 2018. So you can imagine how excited I was when I got a chance to play the newest game in the series called Paladins of the West Kingdom. I thought it might be nice to show the Board Game Breakfast viewers a little bit of a sneak peek, so why don't we head on over and take a look. So please keep in mind that everything you're seeing here are prototype components and not exactly how they might look in the final version. Paladins of the West Kingdom is a worker placement game, but like all Garphill games, it does it slightly differently. right here you're seeing what would be called the main board, I suppose, and you've got some townsfolk that you can bring into your party to give you some special abilities. This is where you can place garrisons and some of your other little markers that will give you bonuses. You can see some outsiders there that can either be attacked for immediate bonuses or converted through the faith attribute to give you endgame points. This is the AI board. The back of every player board has an AI board. And it works very similarly to a regular opponent with some slight differences. And here's the scheme deck that controls the AI's actions. And we're going to scroll over here to the main player board where you can see you have different places where you can put workers of specific types. And on each worker spot, you've got an attribute that you need to look at to determine how strong that action is going to be, or if you can even take it, and a different attribute that it will boost up. And this is, right here, some paladins that you'll be choosing one per round to give you a special ability and a certain number of workers, and the attribute tracks for all three attributes that are going to be kind of triggering these different actions. Here you've got the tavern where you'll pick up some other workers, and it all flows together into what is, I would say, the heaviest of any of the Garphill games, Paladins of the West Kingdom. So hopefully that gave you a little bit of an idea of what Paladins of the West Kingdom is like, and if it seems like something you might be interested in, you might want to set a reminder on your calendars for March 6th. That's the date that it goes live on its Kickstarter campaign. So, as always, thank you so much for your time, and have a great day.
Hi, we're Boardgame Opinions. I'm Steve.
I'm Jonathan.
I'm Amy.
I'm Mark. And we're back with another speed quiz. Mark won the first one he had, so he's 1-0 up in the series. You two trying to win this one. Amy's going to start us off, but the category they've got this time is games that have won the Spiel des Jahres main award, not the Kenner Spiel, not the Kids Award, not nominated, they have actually won, that are in the cafe library. So obviously that reduces the number of games from 39 to about 30. We're going to start with Amy, and they're going to try and get as many as they can. I asked Matt the same question earlier. He listed some games off that list, so if you get one of those, it's worth a point. If you get one that Matt didn't know, and he doesn't know the most amount about games, you'll get 2 points. If you want to play at home, have a go yourselves. But off we go. Amy, name a Spiel winner.
Mississippi Queen.
Mississippi Queen's worth 2 points.
The Quacks of Kremlinberg.
That was the Kenner Spiel.
Oh.
King Domino.
King Domino is 1 point.
Seven Wonders?
Seven Wonders was the Kenner Spiel.
Heron Tortoise.
Heron Tortoise is
That's what I'm going to go for.
2 points.
Camel Up.
Camel Up is 1 point.
We're going to have to pass.
The Road to El Dorado? The Quest or something. The Quest to El Dorado. It's the German title. Yeah.
Is not there, I'm afraid.
Exit?
Won the Kenner Spiel.
That's the Kenner Spiel.
King of Tokyo?
King of Tokyo did not win.
The Game?
The game was nominated for... didn't win.
Hanabi.
Hanabi, that took you well. That is worth 2 points.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice.
Matt did not know that one.
Oh.
I'm going to open up to the floor now.
Codenames.
Codenames is correct, is worth a point.
Oh.
Yes. It's open up to the floor. You can shout out answers at any point.
Pandemic Legacy?
It did not-
that was
it
the
did not
Kenner
win.
Spiel.
And it didn't win
was
either.
nominated, yeah. I'm out.
Yeah, I'm out.
Istanbul.
Istanbul was nominated for the Kenner Spiel.
No,
3,
come on,
2, 1. I'm going to call time. You guys at home have probably done slightly better. They missed some very easy ones there. I'm just going to toss up the scores. Okay, we have a new winner this time. The winner this time is Jonathan with 4. Yeah. Mark got 3 and Amy got 2. I guess you guys must have done better at home. You guys missed Catan, Ticket to Ride, Alhambra, Carcassonne, along with some other ones. You could have had like Scotland Yard, Dominion, Dixit.
I thought
you could have had
didn't
Azul.
say it.
Azul won last year, so you missed Azul out, which is a bit of a shame. But anyway, they were the the Spiel des Jahres winners for the last 39 years that are on the Cafe Library. If you did better than these guys, maybe you should join them next time. We've been Boardgame Opinions. Thanks so much.
Bye.
Hello, and welcome to Retro Board Game Corner. In this segment, I like to showcase mass market games of the past. And yes, I know most of these games are foolish, brainless, and downright ridiculous. But that doesn't diminish the level of fun you can have by playing these games. Here we have Waterworld, published in 1995 by Milton Bradley. This is a 2 to 4 player game based off of the hit movie starring Kevin Costner. In this game, you're trying to find dry land which is hidden somewhere on this board. At the beginning of the game, you're going to take this secret compass and line up a notch, locking it into place, and that is where dry land is at. You're going to move your ship around the board to these different atolls, picking up supplies until you get 4 unique supplies in your hand. You will come here to the D's to sink it, and then that will give you the opportunity to look at where dry land is at. Get there first to win the game. Also, you have the ability to steal supplies from other players. This is your classic roll and move, get to it first game with a twist. Well, that's all the time I have for now. If you have a comment below, or you can tweet them to me at Retro Board Gamer. And as always, may your rolls be high.
All right, folks, let's see what's being added to the Dice Tower libraries this week. First, we have Factory Funner. This is a game that Sam hates and Z loves. But this is the Factory Funner and bigger. Z says, as far as you can tell, it's mostly just a bigger box, but that's okay. So this will be a good one to add to the library. Dire Wind is a deck building game that's also a dungeon crawler, kind of a nice combo between the two. So I thought that one would be a good fit for the library. Word Slam Family. This here is a fun party game. Word Slam is already in the Dice Tower library. Why not stick Word Slam Family, which is about as good. Speaking of which, we're adding Muse Awakenings. Actually, if you look inside the box, it's all of Muse. Both Muse and Muse Awakenings both fit in the same size box. Easy enough. Another party game, Spit It Out, is getting added to the library. This is an older party game, but silly fun from R&R Games. So I figured we could have some party games in the library. Robin Hood and the Merry Men. Now, I know that this one has been getting mixed reviews after looking through the rulebook. I'm not as interested in this one, but Sam liked it, and we'll see. Arkham Horror. Z thinks this game's great. I think it's decent, but I know a lot of people like it. Why would we not put it in the library? Also, the deluxified version of Crusaders, a great kind of a almost gateway style game. Nice light medium game, a lot of fun, and it's pretty as all get out. The Cult of Barnacle Bay, we'll be adding that to the library. If you like miniature styles game, you'll enjoy this. And Majolica, I don't think it's as good as Jason says it is, but this is a rarer game, and it's nice to have some of these style games in the library. Then we got some big boxes that are getting added in. Fresco, the big box of Fresco from Queen Games, everything inside this one. The big box of Kingdom Builder, you want to play Kingdom Builder, this has it all. And then Escape, the Curse of the Temple, the big box of this one too. And that's what we're adding to the Dice Tower libraries this week.
Welcome to The Pitch.
Hi everyone, my name is Dave Luza, and today I want to pitch you an idea for a birthday party for kids. Our son turned 10 this month, and for his birthday party we were thinking what we're going to do. Looking at his classmates, what did they do for their birthday parties? And they all did laser tag, which was huge, bouldering, climbing, trampoline park, going to the movies, all these huge, pretty expensive stuff. And we were thinking, what can we do? What fits for us? So we decided again to celebrate it at home. I made them all a quiz, a wits and wagers kind of quiz. Gave them all something to write on and then choose their answers and then bid on the answers, which was a huge success. But we also played little games, smaller games, traditional Dutch games, but also some games that you might know, like Klask. With every game they played, they won poker chips. And at the end, we're going to see who's got the most chips. And that person got to choose first from, well, a gift basket that had all the same gifts in it. Because it doesn't matter who wins. It's the competition. They were having fun playing the weirdest games. I had them stack sugar cubes with chopsticks. I had a bucket of water, and they all had different amounts of water, and they had to choose which one they could fit in it without making it overflow, which was an amazing game. They had so much fun playing that. I made another quiz that was kind of like the Dice Tower did at live shows, where you've got all these different answers that all have a number, and you want to get the highest answer, but you don't have to give the answer, you just have to give the question what you think has the highest answer. That was so much fun. We did Just Dance just to have one room where the computer was on. Just saying, you can definitely go to all these parks and all these things and spend loads of money, but you could also keep it simple and do things that you already love. We played Werewords today with them. So if you have questions, or if you have ideas of how to spend the birthday parties for the kids that you have, put them down in the comments, and I'll take a look at them, give you some ideas if you're stuck, because I think we don't have to go out. My name is Dave Luza. Thanks for watching.
Hey everybody, today I'm going to be talking about another game that I'm letting go from my collection, and that is Sherlock 13, a small micro game, deduction game, in which one of these cards is going to be set aside, the rest of them are shuffled up, divvied among the players, and everyone is going to try to figure out which card is missing, kind of like Clue in many ways. You'll be asking each other questions in order to narrow down what is missing. Everyone's going to have one of these sheets here. You'll mark off information as you discover it until you are ready to solve the case. Game plays 2 to 4 players, has gorgeous artwork, which is honestly probably the hardest, the hardest part of letting this game go. But it is best at 4, I would say. And anytime I want to play this kind of game, there's another game that gives me a similar vibe, but I find much more enjoyable. It's a cooperative game, and it's one that's going to get everyone in kind of a sillier mood while still putting things together in your mind, and that is Witness. Witness is a game that only works with 4 people, and it has a limited number of cases in the box that once you've played through them, you're kind of done with that game. But I'm not really burning through those cases very fast. There's so many games. And I just find it to be a little bit more fun. You're whispering information to the person next to you from your own booklet that you've got, and this information is going to make it around the table. It's kind of like the telephone game. And at the game, questions are answered. Everyone will, are asked. Everyone answers them. And you see how you all did together. I really find it enjoyable. It's a clever game. It's a very unique game. And while this is neat and it's interesting that it does everything it does with just 13 cards, it's not that unique. Like I said, it's a lot like Clue, this one. And there's a lot of Sherlock games out there. Witness, there's nothing really quite like it. And I just see myself preferring that one over this every time I've got 4 players and we all feel like figuring some stuff out. So there you go. That's my goodbye to Sherlock 13, and I'm looking forward to playing some more Witness in the future. So thanks for checking this out with me. Enjoy the rest of the episode.
Can you take a vacation? Well, of course. I found it interesting when I was a teacher that you could take days off as a teacher. You could take a personal day or a sick day, but you never actually took a day off from teaching. It just didn't happen. By that I mean, if you took a day off, if you were sick and you stayed home, or if you needed to do something and you just took a personal day off, you would have to write all your lesson plans up for the day that you would be gone. You'd have to write them out even more detailed than you did usually, because the person covering for you probably doesn't know how to teach your class. So you might give some sort of busy work day or study hall day, but that then means you're missing a day. You need to make up for it when you come back. You have double the homework when you come back. There's double stuff going on, and to the point where it really encouraged teachers not to skip school because it was like a pain to miss a day. You took the quote-unquote day off, but you worked a whole another day to make that day go off. And that's the way it is with a lot of things. That's the way it is with at least with us, with the board game content media creation. And it's something I try to think about often, I don't take many days off. I just don't. I try to, my weekends are off. And now that I have a second video editor coming in, thanks to our Kickstarter, I will actually hopefully be able to take a little bit more time, because the way we have it now is I have one video editor. They edit all my videos that I do throughout the week, and Board Game Breakfast and Weekend Review on the weekends, I edit those. So I work all week long doing that stuff, and then on weekends I work on that, and I'm doing other things. And I don't mind that. That's not a complaint. I like to work. I like to do things. But I got to be careful because people consume media content, right? And I get emails often from people saying, okay, I got one just recently where someone said, I compared the videos you did this week to the videos you did the year previous, and it seems like you're going down a little bit. And you're like, oh, no, I don't mean to do that. I want to keep having content going. And that's what people want. They want a constant stream of content, and I want to give it to them. But if I want to take a couple days off, or want to give the guys a couple days off, we build the content ahead of time, which means you're just working more earlier to put out content now, which means as the year goes by this year, at some point I'm going to say, this week there's not going to be a lot of content or no content from the Dice Tower. And I don't say that to be rude or to be jerky, but because I think everyone needs a time to refresh and come back. You can say, well, you go on a Dice Tower cruise and you go to convention all the time, but those are not quite freedom from working. Those are we're still very involved and very much on. Even in Dice Tower Cruise, which was fantastic, I have a great time on it, I'm still on the whole time. I need to go around and make sure I walk back and forth in the boat, go to all the different spots, talk to people, teach games, making sure things go on. Very, very rarely will I just take my wife and go somewhere quietly on the cruise, and I definitely don't do it for a whole day at a time. So it's an interesting concept. It doesn't really bother me too much on a personal level because I don't really need a lot of time off, but I have to think about my family, my wife. I have to think about the people who work for me. And so this is just something I've been thinking about recently, that sometimes we need to take a vacation, sometimes we need to take a vacation from playing games. So you might be someone, you're not in a board game media creation business, you're just playing games all the time. And you're like starting to weary, like, oh man. And it can feel wearisome, especially if you're part of what we call the cult of the new, where you're going to play new games all the time, all the time, all the time. It's okay to take a break. Take a week or two off and don't play any games at all. And sometimes I found that when people do that, they don't come back to gaming. They're done, and it's like, oh, we've lost them. Well, not really. I don't think people have to play games, right? And so if they're not really interested in playing games, maybe taking a week off will make you realize, hey, this isn't something I want to do all the time. I think vacations are good. I think we all need to take some quiet time and relax, and I need to make myself do this, right? Having employees certainly helps me with this because they will let me know a little bit more maybe than I would. I'll be like, oh yeah, maybe we should take this time off. So if you see the Dice Tower go offline for a day or two or a week or two in the future, please don't hold that against us. We need to recharge our batteries every once in a while. I promise you I work really hard to make sure that there's constant content coming out. But I think as in board gaming in general, we have to be careful. Like game. Gaming is fun. Gaming is good. But it's okay to take a break from it once in a while, even from entertaining things, and just go and relax, watch a movie, listen to music, go to the park, what have you. Whatever relaxes you, and enjoy that.
Randy and Ellen, we game together.
It's your turn.
Ooh.
Hey, I'm ready.
I'm Ellen. Hey guys, welcome to We Game Together. Last time we made a video, we talked about Randy's love, which is Carpe Diem. I loved it. Tonight we're talking about my love.
Raccoon Tycoon?
Yeah, that one. That's the one.
The one that you have in your hand.
The one that I'm holding currently is the game that we're going to talk about.
Well, that is a great idea.
It's funny how we do that. It's cool. It works out. Okay. The box is beautiful. The art is beautiful.
This is one of those boxes that, I don't normally talk about boxes because art and stuff on games is great, but like if it doesn't play well, I don't want it. And if it only plays well and doesn't look good, I don't care. I play it anyway. But this is specifically one of those games that I saw, and I'm like, that looks really, really good.
Out? I mean, look at the gold.
Yeah, on the front, it's just it pops out right away. It's really good looking.
With this box, I love it. So let's talk about things we love about it. First of all, it has these incredible cards that are the set cards.
These cards, you can't see them.
You can't see how our hands are covering it. The artwork is beautiful. I love that on your turn you can start an auction to make sets of these different cards. So
so the set collection part of it is auction to get the cards that you're trying to set collect. So it's not just drafting or anything. Mm-hmm. It's actually an auction, which is, I thought, really kind of an interesting
cool.
way
I've heard a couple people say that they didn't like it, but I feel like I don't know if that was because they were playing 2-player. I don't know. We have not played this at 2-player, by the way.
They said specifically
they were playing
at 2-player? I can't imagine this being terribly great at 2 players.
Right. And we game together. Like, that's our thing. It's not we game with 5 people.
We played it with 5.
Amazing
it was really
at 5.
good at 5.
So good. In fact, we stopped playing mid-game and bought it.
Yeah. We were sitting at the table.
Yeah.
Somebody was showing it to us, and we were playing it, and then I'm like, we got to get this. So I went online, pre-ordered it, and it was like, came out, the week after or something.
It's really good. I love how the market changes. I love how when you sell something, then the market goes down.
Yeah,
after you sell it.
So when you play a card and you produce, the market goes up, and that's how goods get increased in price. And then you can sell the goods, and then as you sell the goods, they go down in price because you're selling the goods.
I just love the way that works.
It's really good. It's like a little kind of mini stock market game.
Yes.
Very fun.
Oh, it was so cool. I was not expecting
without
to like
having
this
all
much.
the extra math and things that you might get in a really.
I also love the fact that we're dealing with paper money in this. I love that.
Yeah.
Handing out the bucks. It feels cool.
But it's good. It's like it's
good
well
money.
done. It's like laminated or some kind of.
I don't. If people out there have beefs with paper money, fine. I don't. I love this. I like the way that it's done. And then you have building tiles that let you get extra points and special abilities and all that fancy fun stuff.
A lot of good stuff.
I love it. It's beautiful.
All right. And stay tuned for the picture of the day.
Yep. Bye, guys.
And Instagram and all that good stuff.
All the stuff.
And we'll see you.
Bye.
I'm Roy Canaday, and welcome to Printed Pieces, where we talk about 3D printing and how that can be added into board gaming as part of your hobby. So today I want to talk a little bit about where you can find files for your 3D printer and what kind of things there are out there for you to be able to print. So there is a website called Thingiverse. That's one of the main ones that a lot of people use. People can go on there and upload STL files, which are the files that 3D printers read with the little models, and you can put that into a program called Cura, and you can slice those files up for your specific printer and be able to make it so that it can be printed out. But there are all sorts of different things for board games that all sorts of people in the community have created. There are lots of amazing creators that design these files, and they're excited about board gaming too, so they'll make files for the board games, throw it up there. So one of the cool things I printed out is I was just going through and I was just typing in the names of different board games that I owned to see what kind of files that other 3D printing enthusiasts had made. And one of the things I thought was really cool was that in Spectre Ops, there's just like this little token in the game that's the car that moves around. And I'm like, well, that's kind of cool. I just typed in Spectre Ops because it's one of my favorite games, and someone had made a Spectre Ops car. I haven't done anything to this, I haven't tried to paint it up or make it crazy at all. And it's pretty basic as far as the design, but it will be cool to have a little car token that can move around the board instead of having just a little basic cardboard circle token. And I just really like thematic things, so I think that's kind of cool to add things to the game like that. But there's all sorts of different stuff like crazy twisters that can be added into Forbidden Desert, or maybe cool virus cubes that can be added into Pandemic. There's tons and tons of game inserts, tons of tokens for Blood Rage, or tokens for a bunch of different games that you have already. It's really cool to see how the board game community and 3D printing has made these things free. They've made different files and put them on Thingiverse for people to be able to check out. So if you have the time, just go to Thingiverse and go and type in the names of some of your favorite board games and see if there are different prints that people have made up for these games, and see the variety of things you could make if you had a 3D printer. Well, this has been Printed Pieces. Thanks so much for joining me, and I'll see you on the next one.
Two brothers set loose in a thrift store. This is Thrift Store Throwbacks.
It's always a tough day when you have to see one of your friends get hanged. SpongeBob. Oh, so pure. So full of joy. He was always ready. He'd always say it, I'm ready, I'm ready. He's always ready. He's always ready for this. He's always ready. What's he dropping for? Murder? Tax evasion. Oh. Didn't you learn from Wesley Snipes? You have to pay for your pet man, Gary. He wasn't licensed. I don't want to watch this. Why are we here? You must. It's what he would have wanted. Patrick couldn't be here, so someone must be. Go down smiling, Spongy. Go down smiling. Oh, goodness. Oh, God. Oh, his legs are so spindly. Oh. He lifted a pineapple onto the sea. SpongeBob SquarePants. Poor was he?
Our green screen's fun. Also, that was
SpongeBob SquarePants Hangman game.
Now, admittedly, that was a dark sketch.
Was it too dark?
Yes, but also so is this game. It's this cool little 2-player hangman thing, but like, hangman's supposed to be a fun time.
List of people I do not want to hang. SpongeBob's probably 1 or 2. You know?
This is the most high-stakes game of hangman ever, and it's terrifying, and I don't know, like, who's this for, because kids would be scarred by this. I don't want that in my life. Yeah, so we had to make an appropriate sketch to explain or try to make sense of what this game is.
Also, we talk about all these mass market versions of games. Like, it's like the classic word game, the SpongeBob twist. It's not a SpongeBob twist. It's literally just SpongeBob.
Just like a nightmare. The twist is that it's a nightmare now.
I don't like this.
I don't like this at all. We should probably keep it forever, but it's just very upsetting. Hung by his hat, SpongeBob. There he went. Folks, if you like what we do, check out the Brothers Spurf right here on YouTube. We do top 10s and lots of fun, silly things. And there's less SpongeBob
none of this
trouble.
So, we saved this for the Dice Tower.
Yeah. Anyway, folks, until next time, we'll see you in a happier place.
Hopefully. We'll see you there.
And that's it, folks. Another Board Game Breakfast. Thanks so much for watching. I'm really excited. We're not too far away from Dice Tower West, a few weeks away. We're going to see many of you out there. We'll be traveling around to different conventions as the year goes by. We'll try to announce them. Obviously, from one of our stretch goals of Kickstarter, a few people are going to be going to Origins from the Dice Tower. I don't know exactly who for sure. I can tell you I will not be at Origins because I'll be somewhere else, but Z Garcia will be at Origins, so there's that. Also, I can confirm that at least me and Z Garcia will be at the UK Games Expo, so that's exciting too. And we're also going to be at the Icelandic convention again, Midgard, later on this year. So we'll be talking about more stuff as time goes by. And I'm going to see you back here in a bit, not me, but our live Q&A. Each week we'll try to have different people to go in and out. And this week it's going to be Z Garcia at 10 a.m. If you'd also missed out, each week we put out our week in review where we take a look at all the games we reviewed the previous week. So that's something you can check out. And again, guys, I really appreciate all your help with the Kickstarter. Until next time, I'm Tom Vasel, and you've been watching Board Game Breakfast on the Dice Tower. Thank you.
Thanks for watching Board Game Breakfast. Tune in each week for your daily dose of gaming goodness with Tom Vasel and Oliver Kay. Until next time, I'm Eric Summer, and you've been watching Board Game Breakfast, a Dice Tower production, sponsored by Cool Stuff Inc., an amazing place to buy board games. Cool stuff in style at CoolStuffInc.com.